Naddu issa għad-dibattitu, il-punt li miss fuq l-agenda huwa id-dibattitu konġunt li rigwarda ċertifikat aħdar digitali dwar iż-żewġ rapporti tal-Onorevoli Lopez Aguiar, ċertifikat aħdar digitali ċittadini tal-Unjoni, ċertifikat aħdar digitali ċittadini ta' pajjiżi terzi, kif ukoll id-dikjarazzjonijiet tal-Kunsill u l-Kummissjoni dwar l-aċċessibilità u l-affordabilità tal-ittestjar għal COVID-19. Nixtieq infakkar lill-onorevoli membri li għad-dibattiti kollha ta' din is-sessjoni parzjali mhux ser ikun hemm proċedura tal-catch DI u mhux ser jiġu aċċettati karti blu. U barra minn hekk bħal fis-sessjonijiet parzjali preċedenti huma previsti interventi mill-bot mill-uffiċċji ta' kollegament tal-Parlament fl-istati membri. Nibda bekk biex nibdew id-diskussjoni billi nagħti il-kelma lil Anna Paula Zakarias fisem il-Kunsill.
Good morning, Madam President. Thank you very much. Thank you, Commissioner, to honourable members. Thank you for inviting the Presidency to this joint debate, and thank you also for all your efforts to adopt the European Parliament mandate on the Digital Green Certificate in such a short time. We look forward to engaging in negotiations as soon as possible with a view to reaching an agreement in the coming weeks so that the system can be in place before the summer. This would give a strong sign to our citizens of our joint commitment to have Europe on the move again. The Council has welcomed the proposals on the Digital Green Certificate put forward by the Commission, which aims at facilitating the freedom of movement in the EU. We also underline the flexibility that the proposed framework guarantees, and the Presidency certainly hopes that the deployment of the Digital Green Certificate will give positive impulse to the social and economic recovery of our societies. At the same time, we have to be cautious and manage citizens' expectations in light of the fast-changing evolution of the epidemiological situation in Europe and across the world, in particular as regards tackling variants of concern, as we can see, unfortunately, at this moment. The Council agreement on the negotiating mandate was unanimously supported by the Member States. And our proposal addresses already some of the concerns of the Parliament, including a sunset clause for the regulation, and we remain open to further discussions on fundamental issues of protection of personal data, taking into account the joint opinion of the European Data Protection Board and the European Data Protection Supervisor. In addition, at the end of last week, Member States reached an agreement on guidelines describing the main technical specifications for the implementation of the Digital Green Certificate. This is a crucial step for the establishment of the necessary infrastructure, both in the EU and at national level, and I would like to thank the Commission for all the work done at this level. Honourable members, as you know, the question of accessibility and affordability of the COVID-19 tests is not covered by the Council mandate, nor is any question related to their fees. The Commission did not intend either to regulate this issue on its proposal. However, the Council and Member States are quite mindful of the importance of eliminating or reducing the costs incurred by citizens and facilitating testing within the EU competences provided by the treaty. Allow me a couple of points on this matter. First, the Council agreed in this mandate that the certificates themselves should be issued free of charge. Second, following a Council amendment on December 2020 to the Directive on the Common System of Value-Added Tax, Member States will be able to apply either reduced or zero rates to testing kits, which was previously not possible. Third, regarding testing, costs can also be reduced through joint procurement or EU funding, Through the Emergency Support Instrument, Member States are receiving over 20 million rapid antigen tests, while a joint procurement with 32 countries for over 500 million rapid tests was launched in November 2020. Finally, although testing strategies are of the competence of Member States, the Council adopted in January a recommendation setting out a common framework for the use of rapid antigen tests and of the mutual recognition of COVID-19 tests results across the EU. Furthermore, the Health Security Committee agreed to a common list of COVID-19 rapid antigen tests and a common standardised set of data for test result certificates. These efforts will continue, I'm sure, during the forthcoming negotiations with the European Parliament. Because we have the same aim, and that is to facilitate the life of our citizens in this very difficult moment, so that families can be reunited, so that students and tourists and business people can travel, finally regaining a sense of normality and putting our economy on the move. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ms. Zacharias. Issa naddi il-kelma biex jitkellem fisem il-Kummissjoni, il-Kummissarju Didier Reynders.
Merci Madame la Présidente, Mesdames et Messieurs les députés. Après plus d'un an de pandémie de Covid-19, nous devons maintenir notre vigilance, mais nous avons également des raisons d'espérer. La campagne européenne de vaccination s'accélère. Ces derniers mois ont été marqués par de nombreuses restrictions, et notamment par des mesures de confinement mises en place pour protéger des vies. Aujourd'hui, nous souhaitons donner aux citoyens européens des perspectives d'espoir. La Commission propose un outil qui facilitera la libre circulation dans toute l'Union européenne. Un outil qui sera émis et accepté dans tous les États membres, permettant ainsi aux citoyens européens de voyager en toute sécurité et sans discrimination. Un outil qui aidera ainsi ces citoyens à voyager de nouveau au sein de l'ensemble de l'Union, qui soutiendra la reprise des activités économiques et pourra servir de modèle aux futures solutions développées au niveau international. Cet outil, Mesdames et Messieurs les députés, c'est le certificat vert numérique. The Digital Green Certificate aims to facilitate free movement at a time where we still need to live with the virus, where some of us are already vaccinated while others are not, because they are not yet in the priorities at national level or because they don't want to be vaccinated. It concerns intra-EU cross-border travel of EU citizens and their family members, together with a twin proposal extending the system to third country nationals legally staying or residing in an EU member state and moving to another member state. Of course, when developing the technical solutions, we will seek to ensure coherence with international standards that are currently being developed. The proposal is firmly built on two core values: non-discrimination and data protection. The Digital Green Certificate will be available to all Europeans, regardless of whether they are vaccinated, I said, or not. And it will ensure a high level of data protection with a decentralized system of verification using a public key infrastructure. I welcome the support of the Parliament to make sure that the sensitive data included in the certificates are properly protected. This is crucial to ensure citizens' trust in the system. We need swift action to have a reliable and secure tool in place as soon as possible. Time is of the essence, and we need to ensure a rollout before the summer. Technical work is progressing well to implement a solution that avoids centralisation of personal data, minimises use of personal data, and ensures security. I'll call on your support for this approach. The Commission stands ready to address the Parliament's concerns on data protection and other points during the upcoming trilogue negotiations. If we can deliver politically, the technical solution will be ready in time. If we don't, we risk fragmentation across Europe with a multitude of possibly incompatible national solutions. We would risk having a variety of documents that cannot be read and verified in other member states. And we risk the spread of forged documents and with it, the spread of both the virus and the mistrust of citizens. While putting in place the digital green certificate, we have to live with the fact that there are still scientific uncertainties regarding COVID-19. We do not yet have full scientific evidence about the effects of vaccination or recovery from the virus. But we cannot wait for all these questions to be answered to start taking action. We have to act now by adopting a text that is sufficiently flexible to take these developments into account once more scientific knowledge is available. For this reason, the Commission proposes to keep separate from the moment the digital green certificate, the tool that we aim to establish with the regulation, and its possible uses. We should not get stuck on arguments about whether or not to lift restrictions for the holders of such certificates. We will not be able to solve them at this point in time. In particular, new variants of concern are raising significant uncertainties, and the difficult discussion on the use of the certificate has the potential to prevent us from moving forward in a pragmatic way. About the possible use of the certificates beyond free movement, our proposal does not create a legal basis for such use in the member states. If member states wish to use the certificates for other purposes, they would need a legal basis at a national level, in the national law, which will have to be fully compliant with the General Data Protection Regulation and to prove that such a use is necessary and proportionate in consultation with their national data protection authorities. The Commission would advise not to prohibit the use of the digital green certificate on the basis of such a national legal basis. Otherwise, the member states that want to use the certificates domestically would much likely create a separate national system. The result would be a worrying fragmentation in the European Union. Let me now make a couple of points on the accessibility and affordability of COVID-19 tests. The digital green certificate will be free of charge, and we share the view that tests should be affordable for all citizens. But issues related to the reimbursement of medical costs, such as COVID-19 tests, fall within the competence of the member states. This is a complex field with many different public and private actors involved. More fundamentally, the impact on the availability of tests would have to be carefully considered given that we are still fighting the pandemic. On its part, the Commission has mobilised €100 million to purchase over 20 million of rapid antigen tests, which have been delivered to the member states. The option to purchase an additional 400 million tests has been secured through our joint procurement mechanism. Member states placed orders for 40 million tests and are, of course, encouraged to purchase more if there is a need. Such joint procedures allow us to secure better conditions, including prices for individual members. Madame la Présidente, Mesdames et Messieurs les députés, il est évident que nous ne retournerons pas pleinement à la normale dès cet été. Pour contenir le virus, certaines mesures devront être maintenues. Mais dès l'été qui s'annonce et afin d'aider les citoyens à voyager à nouveau en Europe en toute sécurité, nous avons besoin de documents fiables et interopérables. Nous avons besoin du certificat vert numérique. Je vous invite dès lors à agir rapidement, dans l'intérêt des citoyens européens et du marché intérieur. La Commission est prête à travailler sans relâche afin de soutenir la recherche d'un compromis acceptable pour les colégislateurs, et ce, le plus rapidement possible. Je vous remercie de votre attention et je me réjouis évidemment d'entendre vos questions et observations auxquelles nous tenterons de répondre et certainement au cours du trilogue. Merci.
Merci, Commissaire Reinders. Issa naddi il-kelma għal 6 minuti l-rapporter Juan Fernando Lopez Aguiar.